Well, President Trump earlier today spoke on the consequences Russia will face if they don't reach a ceasefire deal in Alaska on Friday. One America's Daniel Baldwin is live at the White House with more on this. Daniel, did he specify the specific consequences?
Not specifically, Alicia. He didn't give any details. He said he didn't have to, and he's right. You don't really need a PhD to get the gist of what the president was saying. He said there would be consequences if he felt that Putin was not serious about making a peace deal this Friday when they come face-to-face for the first time in 6 years on U.S. soil. Putin coming to U.S. soil for the first time in 10 years, the better part of 10 years. So it'll be very interesting because the president already doled out 50% tariffs on India for continuing to buy Russian oil and gas. The Russian economy cracking a little bit as revenue from oil and gas sales are down 27% from July of this year to last year. That's a major funding source of their war. So the president sending a pretty stern and clear message to Putin. If he's not serious about peace, get ready for a lot more economic pain. And he's very capable of doling that out in the form of tariffs on the world stage. And Doug Burgum actually said that the president is a walking deterrent because what he says, he ultimately means what he says. The bottom line, though, is that the White House messaging around this meeting has stayed consistent. Monday, President Trump said this was a feeling out meeting. Tuesday, the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt emphasized that this would be a listening exercise for the president. And President Trump reiterated that here today at the Kennedy Center, emphasizing he's looking to hear what Putin has to say. Why don't we take a listen to what the president says about his expectations for this Friday?
There's a very good chance that we're going to have a second meeting, which will be more productive than the first, because the first is I'm going to find out where we are and what we're doing.
Now, it's important to have this second meeting, of course, because a key point about this meeting that's getting overlooked, Alicia, is that this meeting came at the request of Russian President Vladimir Putin. When Putin met with Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, according to the White House, Putin made the request to Witkoff to meet with President Trump. President Trump obliged that request, and as a result, that's why Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is not going to be participating, because the president is meeting with Putin at Putin's request. President Trump, however, feels as though they need to get into the same room and talk face-to-face, they being Putin and Zelensky. And if Putin is serious about making peace, Trump emphasizes that a second meeting involving Zelensky needs to happen as quickly as possible. Why don't we take a listen?
If the first one goes okay, we'll have a quick second one. I would like to do it almost immediately, and we'll have a quick second meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky and myself, if they'd like to have me there. And that would be a meeting where maybe it could be absolutely work. But the first meeting will not work that out. Certain great things can be gained in the first. It's going to be a very important meeting. But it's setting the table for the second meeting. I think the second meeting, if the second meeting takes place, now there may be no second meeting, because if I feel that it's not appropriate to have it because I didn't get the answers that we have to have, then we're not going to have a second meeting.
The president is certainly confident heading into Friday, though, Alicia. You mentioned in your opening that the president had a call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and other European leaders this morning. The president said that that meeting was as good as possible. It was a 10 out of 10. So he's certainly feeling good and confident heading into Friday. Alicia.
America's chief White House correspondent Daniel Baldwin, live from the North Lawn. Thank you for that report.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.